How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. We've had a lot of good Strive tournaments so far from and we're seeing a lot more right now with Tampa Never Sleeps. We have a lot of good entrants tonight. I know there's a lot of like Evos going on for some tournaments, and there's a few other like events going on, but we still have tons of killers in the pools. We're going to see a lot of good Strive action all going on tonight.
Yeah, but here's the real business though. It's not a big deal. This is actually the Gold Lewis Dickinson waiting room.
True, actually.
Because you know we're gonna get the new character for the early access tomorrow, so the game changes in some capacity tomorrow. Who knows by how much? I'm not expecting a patch. I'm not expecting like balance changes. I'm expecting just like stability things. I would like to be pleasantly surprised, but adding a new character into this ecosystem in the first place is already going to be really interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting because I'm in the same boat with you. I'm not expecting if there is any like sort of balance changes, I imagine it's just gonna be like a little quality of life stuff here and there, or things that are gonna be like, you know, oh, like Soul is now F tier, can't play him anymore, whatnot.
I know what my wish list would be. I can tell you my wish list of patch notes, and it's probably like 2 changes.
Yeah, there's the game has, despite what you'll hear around on the Twitterverse or the YouTube comments and whatnot, it's definitely like has a good balance overall in my opinion.
Yeah, but, I feel like, oh, funny, I was gonna say I feel like there's 1 outlier on the high side and maybe 2 outliers on the low side. Anji Mito on the short list of low side outliers. One of the only characters that I feel like from launch the conversation hasn't changed a whole lot about whether they need a little bit of love.
Yeah, Anji's definitely like one of the characters that is kind of struggling a little bit, but he's still like, that's the thing though, he's maybe struggling a little bit, but he's still not unplayable. And we're gonna have to see that against Potemkin, one of the higher end characters in my opinion, and Brock and ProxyG, one of the fellow commentators here at TNS.
Yeah, I think that, finding that counter though is Voideroid. One of the options you always need to be watching for from an Anji. I feel like if there's 50 tension, always to get blocked. The fuzzy jump out of the mix-up and gets smoked by the empty in the corner, does ProxyG and loses that first round. Yeah, to your point, Potemkin is one of those characters, you know, grapplers, I feel like it always takes a little while for them to really find the rhythm and the groove of the game.
Yeah, like grapplers typically are going to be, because it takes a little bit, grapplers are a real fine piece of art because you need to like figure out exactly what the setups are, what's the most threatening options, and kind of go from there. And like, we obviously, Potemkin has tons of good options with the Pot Buster, with the Garuda Impact is an insane button.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see how that works, especially whenever it comes to like talking more about the match between these two. This matchup, I do feel like Anji is a character that can give Potemkin a little bit of trouble just because of the fact that the parries will be working well against his like high recovery moves. And just generally, like, Proxy's gonna be at the whim of the fusion of follow-ups. But so far, finding his openings with these Mega Fists, to navigate around the options, and bursting the Rekka setup.
Oh, that jump in hit, despite the fact that the blue RC rather didn't end up working out. Big counter hit, falls up into damage. The counter smacks the slide head.
I didn't know that works like that, actually. Hop into the close slash for the meaty. Good stuff from Void for this round 1. That was insane.
Void went for the empty follow-up. I think we saw maybe like 2 lows, 1 overhead, and otherwise it's been overwhelmingly the short hop. I feel like Proxy is going to need to get wise to that. One thing I wonder is, you know, just a piece of matchup stuff is, you know, if Anji goes to the follow-ups off of Fujin right away, does it prevent you from being able to say like rear Mega Fist and try to, you know, deal with them that way? I know, you know, if you can find the ability to find those, or you can just block the overhead, get the back throw, have the corner, and find the plus frames and get the burst. I think that probably works better.
Yeah, that's what I was actually gonna follow up with. Is that? Ooh, hold up, I got it. My goodness. My man is starting out with a bloodbath. That was insane. But so the kind of the point they were making with it, from the Rekka, you really have to just block low for a little bit, and then if you delay an option, or like such as like a backdash, you should generally be safe versus a lot of his options, or generally be more reactable to his follow-ups. So I think it's just going to go down to ProxyG kind of finding more comfort in blocking the overhead, because that is like -50. That is goopable. So just finding the comfort and just what delay option he wants to do after blocking the first mid, so that he's covering that low. And for Void, just not giving him a chance right now. Fighting these openings, BRC, counter hit, hammer fall, but doesn't need to do much.
I really like that. Oh no! It looked like he tried to hit a button. I think, you know, despite the fact that Voideroid is going for the short hop so many times, he is mixing up these other options, and I think Proxy was trying to contest the expectation of a short hop, and it just didn't work out. Is it going to be the short hop again? No, it's the low this time.
Goes for the overhead, yeah, and there we go. So Proxy figuring that out. The rhythm is kind of being set, kind of getting more used to what's exactly going to be happening, which ones are going for. Not using a lot of the projectile follow-up, which could be coming out from Void at some point, also could be not, and then Proxy could be fighting this opening, but the twirl does not work against that super.
There's the slide head, and don't think I don't see Guts McButts sliding in with the prime sub in the back. Thanks for that. I'm sure TNS loves putting on all these hype tournaments for you as ProxyG closes out the round. Another thing that ProxyG is getting that Voideroid doesn't really have a great answer to so far is I feel like ProxyG is getting a lot of these like super jump forwards and then getting these really late jump ins down, and Voideroid hasn't really found the rhythm of how to contest with that. I think like the anti-air option that he's traditionally going for, which is to go for that sort of diet DP, is not really working out in that situation.
Yeah, it's like a solid option that to go for, but it's, you know, too much of a good thing. So I kind of alternating more into the 6P into like the air throw potentially could be a mix-up that we're gonna need to see from Void. But honestly, it's just coming down to a lot of these situations where just like we see right here, getting knocked down, going for the Garuda impact, getting another one. Oh my goodness, he tried to sweep it. We're holding down back.
Yeah, so that has largely been the knowledge check, is the interactions post Garuda here from ProxyG. Voideroid, I feel like, spent a whole lot of the early part of the set just getting smoked by the counter hit setups after the fact, and now in game 3, ProxyG has finally convinced Voideroid to block for long enough to get scooped, I should say. Big jump in, and here's the plus frames with the red RC.
Yeah, a little bit too early on the RC, gonna get the red one instead. But the Garuda's holding that is what Proxy's saying. Oh my goodness, Garuda is such a good move, and Proxy just saying, "You don't have an answer for this? Let's rock."
I mean, if at first it does succeed, don't change it. It's a good thing. I'm mixing some metaphors here. The point is, Proxy's game plan is working when he's able to get it started. I think the big question is, defensively, he's, you know, struggling to navigate some of the post-Fujin stuff. And I don't know if it's, you know, Voideroid is just having good reads on when to use which options. I feel like he's doing the delay low enough that Proxy's like trying to fuzzy block and then getting clipped low, and it's opening up the game for him.
Yeah, it definitely, in my opinion, a lot of the set right now is kind of just both players are very eager on the defense. Like, they're just, like, trying to get really antsy, just answering things prematurely, right? Trying to contest overhead, trying to interrupt Garuda, and trying to take the sub from Charles from 84. Thank you very much for gifting that sub, and now finding the low here, going to be able to RC it. This should be, yeah, it's right next to the corner. Oh, unfortunate, not able to get the smooth follow-up, but finding the opening. You can't even burst it, dude!
Oh, that's a real shame. Voideroid's been burning the bursts very early. Okay, finding the anti-air this time too far from the corner for the 5D follow-up, finds the 2D. Fujin into the overhead, and it doesn't get blocked, but you don't finish your plate!
Yeah, playing a little bit too much with his food. That could cook him, but not this time around. He's got to be able to find that. And yeah, it's kind of like we were saying, is that both players, like, Proxy upon blocking the Record series is not, it's definitely showing like a lack of comfort in trying to dealing with the low, dealing with overhead. But all you need is one block and you just get so much reward. With the counter of his own.
Of course it's going to be the counter. He's going to be ready. The great equalizer. But I think, okay, spending the burst, doesn't want to deal with that. Okay, navigating with some bigger buttons, sending out the big shields.
Yeah, just to cover his hammer ball approach. Wins the neutral situation, has to block that, and he's super plus. Pop low again. Yeah, Pop doesn't have a really good fast walk back, so he just has to kind of more commit to the backdash. That is insanely meaty.
Yeah, it keeps being that situation. I feel like the second Voideroid starts blocking Garuda, the round is going Proxy's favor. Let's see if that continues to be true. You blocked a Garuda. Oh, you were too far away. I saw the attempt at the throw, but you were not quite close enough.
Yeah, unfortunately they missed the car out, but does not matter in the long run. Starts it up, hit that sweep out of the block. Void just saying, let me get my turn back, let's get right into the corner, and let's get a mix-up going. Oh, watch the cheeks! Yeah, decided to block it.
Defends the burst, keeps the corner position. There's burst on deck from Voideroid, and he watched for it. I feel like when I was on TNS last, Proxy was actually on with me and called that out specifically. When you RC, you have time to look up at the bar and visually confirm that the burst has been spent. Would not stop talking about how important a skill that was. So I'm very happy to see that Proxy actually has that skill himself and is able to take that first game.
Look, fighting games, you have to have one at this point. And then just click the button, super easy. Let's see how it's gonna go down in this second set of the tournament. We're gonna have NYC Kirby, or rather TeamSpooky. Oh my goodness, TeamSpooky versus Fhyghter. Axel from Mexico. I've not seen Fhyghter. Oh wow, that was a really good Axel ball.
I feel like I have to assume this match is going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of that. The fact that Anji does have these guard points on his forward movement is going to let him try to navigate through this mid-range a lot. And just like that, we're already into Fujin range. Now Spooky gets to start running the game. But we already see going to the projectile follow-up rather than committing to the mix off the rip. Wants to get some data.
Yeah, I really like the mix-up that Spooky's are going for, because instead of just saying, hey, I'm not going to stick to the one option, I'm going to try to mix things up and kind of keep you guessing at the start. But Fhyghter's already showing no fear, just going for the dash back. The diagonal axle attack is going to be fantastic. The burst barely connecting. Oh, with that PRC, that was nasty. Let's go.
Yo, I'm about it. What I love about that is we already know that people know how to deal with the Fujin mix-up afterwards, right? Like, I'm not gonna say it's solved. Clearly it's not, as the man gets scooped. Oh, right into the overhead? Spooky's like, Brad, stop it. We ain't solved nothing. Point is, I like closing out the round on a slightly different option. You don't get to take the meter with you, so you might as well burn it.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
Oh, when he dashes, he goes under 5p.
Yep.
Is that what I just witnessed? That's huge.
Yeah, I do believe a lot of the cast actually gets that option. It's the whirls to really contest these, like, 2 H's, these 5Ps. Very good stuff from TeamSpooky so far. Just finding that opening BRC has to burst.
Yeah, I had actually forgotten that Anji was one of the ones who can dash under 5p. I know, I play Zato, and I can't, and it's the worst matchup for me. So I see Axel on the screen, and I just go to my dark place, man. I vanish into dark.
Oh my goodness, but fighting this throw now, and now Fighters get his thing started. Here's the delayed 2K, gonna work out, but now, there we go, getting started. Gold burst.
The gold burst!
Oh no. What was the reversal option there? Very unfortunate for TeamSpooky right now. Air dashing out, Super's gonna probably RC it just to get some pressure started. Oh god, hit!
Gonna get damage even. Look at this damage. Gonna be able to get this into the wall break? No, it doesn't quite matter. Finds the throw. We don't have the bar after the fact, but one more touch will do it. But the 5K into the follow-up as Fhyghter finds the space to counter poke.
That was a really good contested with that 5K. Just recognizing that TeamSpooky did whiff right there. Just saying, you know what, these are minus frames. This is my opportunity. It's make or break here, and I'm gonna make it. That was a really good choice and just working out for him. But TeamSpooky definitely has more of the tank. We're going to have to see how exactly that worked out. That was a ton of damage from Anji from the that super PRC. I was really worried after that gold burst, because the fact that after getting gold burst and getting hit is like one of the worst feelings, especially right next to the wall. But just able to convert off of that and then just finding the answers. But just almost finding all the answers he needed, but that 1-5 hit mag run working out.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difficulty of a character like Axel. You know, if they have the good sense of how they're controlling the screen, is like, you really only get so many chances, and the second your chance goes away from you, it feels so bad. Gets baited twice even, spends the bar, does not get the follow-up after, but Spooky has very little life to try to make this happen now. He's fishing with the Fujin, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, no, Fighters definitely has found this opening. I do believe it's like the jump slash there that's like covering that diagonal angle. it just Fighters kind of default to that air backdash jump S, really just solidifying the screen space, and TeamSpooky doesn't have a real answer for it just yet. The command throw is going to be whipped, but that's thrown out of the twirl, and this is the danger zone. Nice got out of the situation, but the PRC has recovered. Fighters going in right now.
All right, we have the beginnings of, there's the moral victory off the rip. Finds the overhead off the Fujin as well, burns the burst out of Fhyghter, but Spooky needs to win this round now. Burning the burst is huge, but you've only got so much time left, and on the way back, the chain closes it out. It's so tough.
Yeah, that was definitely just a fighter type of round. Like, definitely has found a lot of, like, Spooky didn't have an answer for the jump slashes. He wasn't able to just close the gap and keep the gap closed. Just Fhyghter fighting his way to wiggle out or just keep Spooky on the toes, and just like that now, looking really good to take the set. But we'll see if that's gonna stick or if Spooky's gonna find the answer he needs.
Yeah, I think part of the reason that a fighter is over here going to the different tools like the jump slash and stuff like that is, I mean, obviously the fact that Spooky already demonstrated that he's going to go through all the space on the screen with the fact that his dash will dodge some of these limbs, it means that fighter is choosing different tools in the first place. We're even seeing like the 2S here represented as well, just as a different way to ensure that whatever he's putting out is getting covered.
Yeah, definitely just really covering good angles that Spooky was going for. And now, even in this situation where Spooky's kind of gotten a little bit more comfortable, as I say that, getting clipped by a lot, and now, just out of range. Oh my goodness, wire C, yeah, the classic, it's a strike throw after that wire C. BRC to try to get something started, didn't slow Fhyghter down, and now Spooky gonna be on his last breath here. Fhyghter on set point.
That's tough, and this is like, that first game was so close, but it's like Fhyghter took that first game and was like, all right, cool, I got it. I understand what I need to do with you. I can't sit still. I can't just trust my regular ground buttons. But it's like jump back slash versus like jump forward into, you know, mix-ups after the fact. And Spooky's having to introduce these like back dashes in mid-range to try to navigate around some of the tools. And it's just, even just implicitly surrendering space is so difficult.
Yeah, it's definitely, and one of the things that Fighters been doing that I think is probably catching TeamSpooky off guard is that normally you see a lot of actuals going for the Rinsen, whereas Fighters definitely using it, but definitely opting more for the jump slash and the command throw. Oh, unfortunate on the vacuum, catching the recovery of that backdash, and that is going to give the 3-0 for Fhyghter. Very clean play from that Axel.
Everyone got worried when the game was, you know, going to be quote-unquote simplified, but I feel like every character still has sort of unique elements to like how they want to play versus everyone else. They haven't homogenized everything as much as I think even conservatively we had feared. And speaking of, we have one of the new characters here, WallieMartin on the Giovanna.
And here we go. So it's going to be Giovanna versus Millia. This is a matchup that I do find very interesting because Giovanna is like the queen of the ground. Like, she just controls so much good horizontal space with that dash, with that sweep. And then Millia just has such good air mobility, such good air options to like delay and so on. We're going to see how those collide right here. WallieMartin looking really good to start things off though.
Yeah, we're seeing some knowledge checks here. All of these special moves looking like they're going unpunished as WallieMartin just gets to steal turn after turn. Kudaytaa is going to have to find some bravery to try to counterpoke in some of these spots, but that's easier said than done, right? Because, like, that's what opens up Giovanna's game so much after the fact, is you start hitting buttons and it's like, yes, that's what I wanted you to do. This nasty counter hit, you know, frame trap setup.
Yeah, just finding these openings and just really just getting this set play started. Nice. I really like when Millia start mixing that into their option, just using that close slash into throw into like a delay option. It is so good.
Oh no!
Ooh, was not able to finish the combo, and now it's gonna be looking to find this one opening.
Yeah, spend all the bar. Oh, a 5K juggle, too, gets a whole lot of damage out of it. Blue RC, but it's not going to matter. You are already not blocking on the correct side. Red RC into 5. Oh, my God, are you actually dead?
He died.
Wow.
That is so unfortunate, especially because from that BRC, it slows Giovanna down enough where most of the time you're going to be able to get an air throw, at least, if not like a 6P or things like that. So, very unfortunate, but if the chat room is correct here, he apparently started playing this game about 4 hours ago. So if the chat room is correct here, that is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I respect the hell out of that. And it would also, you know, be indicative of some of the knowledge check sort of problems in Giovanna there, where like the level 1 of Giovanna's gameplay is so difficult in that respect, where it's like she has it's almost like I think of it almost like a Tekken character, where it's like, all right, this move is plus, but you interrupt it. This move is safe, and you can't interrupt it. And you know, just needing to know when to do that, just like Nick Brad knows when to resub at the 16 months. Thanks, Nick Bad, for continuing to show love to TNS.
Make sure to drop a sub if you can. But now we're going to see the pressure started. A throw for a throw. Plus frames are a myth. Going to be able to contest properly there. And now, the / will contest. Gonna find the options in the neutral. Really just a lot of interesting things going on with this in this neutral like situation.
See, that's a shame. The YRC there, it's yet another indication of just Kudaytaa not having the finer character knowledge to be dealing with what's going on here. YRC on a move that's already negative. Closing up the round anyway, so I guess we don't need the bar.
No, absolutely not. Just decide, you know, I'll take it. But finding that JH, no real combo afterwards. The mix up, nice blocks on the cross up. Cross through, trying to go for the throw, but no dice. What's the mix up again? Finds the opening on the counter hit. Oh my goodness. Finding all these good openings. Kudaytaa just really getting things started, like Hokage been getting things started with that 13-month sub. Thank you so much. Finding the throw. BRC once again. Oh, from downtown.
That's a real shot. I bet you definitely would have had time to even just 6P off of that. I don't remember how long it takes for the invincibility to start. Finds the back throw through the attempt at a charge 5D. WallieMartin tried to get cute to close that one out. Red RC, wants to chase the backdash. Kudaytaa with the YRC into the close slash, and you do not block the cross up, and Kudaytaa takes a game for themselves.
Yeah, that was just really good options from Kudaytaa. I do like whenever Millias do alternate between like the heavy disc and the non-heavy disc, because a lot of players are gonna say, all right, like heavy disc is really just good as an OP option. You get a lot of good options from it, but just sometimes, especially if you have to like run a little bit with it, you might be a little bit off time. You might give up your turn. So instead, just recognizing those situations, saying, I'll just go for my air dash cross up heavy. That's like incredibly ambiguous, and we know you ain't gonna block it. Nobody blocks it. So really good, just mixerization coming out from Kudaytaa. Really just getting himself on the board. How will Wally adapt though? That has to be the question in this game 3.
I think given just I think what WallieMartin needs to do is just play a solid game, really expose these knowledge gaps, and get as much mileage out of that as you can until Kudaytaa demonstrates that he's got the answer. Already cycling in the 2D now. If you sort of dash cancel into 2D here, you're going to be threatening from way farther away than I assume Kudaytaa is comfortable with. Perfect to open up this game 3.
Yeah, I don't think that round could have gone literally any better for WallieMartin. Not getting hit, eating the burst, like just everything went smoothly for him. We're gonna see if Kudaytaa's gonna let that bother him or not. The mentality is gonna be the biggest thing after like a round like that.
Kudaytaa with the super jump out after the fact has found an answer to deal with some of these situations. But look at these long stagger strings. Recognize the up back was the answer, so goes for the delay cancel into the 2S to open up and catch low. Kudaytaa gets clipped with the S hair, and WallieMartin takes the second game in pretty dominant fashion for themselves.
Yeah, that could not have gone any better for WallieMartin. Just finding all the options, recognizing the S disc is minus, going to be able to get the H. I don't know if it's minus enough for the H to like actually punish, but it's definitely minus enough to where you're losing your turn, and if you're holding your ups, if you're just trying to like move around a little bit afterwards, then you're gonna get checked. So we're gonna see if that sort of demoralizing game 3 is gonna fight Kudaytaa, or if it's gonna, just take a breather, get some water, and just like get this mixerization started. Good blocks on the cross up. Good contest that 2P.
Yeah, I feel like the more this is going, like Kudaytaa is finding the answers to the level 1 play from WallieMartin, but WallieMartin is bringing in the level 2 mix after the fact. and Kudaytaa is not sort of bringing out the harder stuff just yet. Although, as I say that, the frame trap working out, Kudaytaa in dominant fashion here, but keeps getting clipped by some of these 2Ps here.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, just finding a lot of these openings, like WallieMartin just really willing to just contest these like small caps. Got the YRC to get things started. And now finding the opening. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. That is just the close slash into the TK bad boot is such a fantastic option for Millia. Using the Blossom, just gonna find the opening. Wow, yeah, always expecting to cross up if you're gonna get opened up whenever it's too far away for him to actually cross up. Good tech on the throw.
Right, and the movement is starting, and WallieMartin continues to open up with these lows. Now we extend the pressure. Red RC. Now we're adding in some tricky stuff. Jump cancels up the close slash. And caught low once again. WallieMartin on set point.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the strong things about Giovanna is the fact that after that close slash pressure, just +3, you can't really contest much, and that delayed 2S is such a good option to call out like any sort of up back, any sort of guessing. But now, oh, missing pull on the super, so unfortunate for WallieMartin, but I mean, he's in such a good position, but the comeback can happen. Down to the last little bit. This is how Millia gets started.
Oh!
Ian! Oh my
that was the Kudaytaa from Kudaytaa. The delay low? Does Kudaytaa have a Sharingan? He's using your own techniques against him?
Okay, well, was able to get the wall break, and now we have to find this situation. Yeah, that's unfortunate. In that situation, you're just gonna get chipped out, and just like that, WallieMartin manages to secure it with that 3-1, preventing that comeback from Kudaytaa. For a lot of this, let me adjust, even in this situation of like for a learning environment, it's like you're entering for fun or to learn, not necessarily to win. You get just that little bit more time to say like, how do I deal with your character? Maybe try this, and hey, it could work out. But now, Papa Leo versus Aceto coming out. Papa Leo, one of the homies, gonna be able to force all these plus frames with this May character against Bino. Character kind of good.
Yeah, I think the thing about Ino is, like, her mix-up is really good, but she feels like she's really like a big kind of death of 1,000 cuts type of character, where I feel like she doesn't get a whole lot of damage for what she does, and that's that many more opportunities for someone to make a defensive choice and reset back to neutral. So I feel like that's been sort of the you need to make a lot of offensive decisions and reads against your opponent's tendencies in a fast sequence.
Yeah, it's definitely, like, she definitely has her weaknesses for, like, that, only the fact that her approach after the note is vulnerable to YRC comparatively to, like, somebody like Millia does a similar situation. But Papa Leo is not trying to hold any of that, just trying to get things started. Gets knocked here, able to contest. Ooh, doesn't actually press his button, and now Red RC forcing the plus range, goes for the throw, but backdash. Ready for it. Aceto, get things started. Out of range! Oh, no.
Yeah. I feel like that's happened a couple of times. Oh, went for the reversal. Super. It's going to work out. The Grand Equalizer gets the cross up on the air dash and is able to put Papa Leo back to the corner. Ooh! PRC forward drift finds the super, and the burst gets baited because the Seal homie was in the back to hold it down.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, Papa Leo, they're just saying, like, recognizing that the overhead kiss into the 6H isn't gonna, the 6H isn't gonna kill, but the otter ball there is going to set up for a good Oki situation, and if they burst, get smoked. So we're going to see how that's going to go into game 2, because I mean, Aceto definitely got the opportunity started, but just wasn't able to keep consistently looping that pressure. Man, like, very good awareness from Leo, and just we'll see how Aceto is able to adjust and how he could keep all this pressure.
Yeah, I feel like the ranges that Aceto is having to counter poke are just too far away for the stuff to really loop the way that they want it to. And Papa Leo is going for S Totsugeki literally the second you have the frames to do it, and just completely dominating the screen at the earliest opportunity. Ooh!
Here we go, yeah, finding the opportunity to get things started. Papa Leo with the S Totsugeki, getting hit out of that. Oh, nice blocks. That is Midas, decided to back off, was worried about a butt afterwards. And now just allow this air backdash JH and Totsugeki. You gotta be able to contest their H, say, don't approach me. I got my H's out here. And then say, you know, I'll approach you. I got my Dolphin ready to go.
Covering with the note. Aceto's choosing very different offensive sequence in this round to compensate for the fact that the ranges have not really been working. Going for more note-based stuff so that they can cover the approach and make sure they get all the way in. Okay, PRC cancel to keep this pressure going. And now Papaleo needs to work the way out.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that JH did unfortunately whiff on the low profile from that 2S, but Aceto finding all of those like small openings and just turning them into a mile. Plus frames, just gonna backdash out of that. Papaleo definitely gonna be one to take note of it. The 5P does come out, the 6P as well. Oh man, this is gonna be a ton of damage. 6H, nice contest, no fear from Aceto.
Yeah, that's like the second time that H Setsugeki's been smoked on startup. Okay, Aceto has found there's like in the pocket in this round of just picking the right spots to swing with the right buttons. Has to burn the burst to avoid what would have been really bad damage at the quarter. Big backdash to get away after the counter hit, and now we're setting up the note once again.
Oh, didn't use the meter to RC with and gonna eat the reversal for it. Oh my goodness, that was unfortunate. Papaleo just barely built that meter off the Totsugeki and just was not able to recognize that in time to really convert. And then Aceto taking the opportunity saying, you know what? This situation, if I die for it, then I'm gonna go out swinging. Gets the reversal super. I'm gonna tie up the score right now to that 1-1.
There's a joke in there somewhere about her really abusing A minor because she gets up and hits the chord, but I'm not gonna. Or is May an adult yet? I know she's like historically like a child in this series. Oh my god!
Now Papaleo just playing the slow neutral, gonna get the plus frames from the Dolphin, alternating what buttons he's using to try to really like just force the fact that like you can't default the same option every time. Oh, wow. Got the gold stagger, recognizing that with a close slash. Good stuff. Oh, the first gets hit, but the throw.
Oh, it's a big back throw. If you can get Papaleo to burn the burst, that's already a big deal. The thing is, at what point is he going to be afraid enough to do it? We're seeing, oh, PRC keeping the pressure going, finds another throw. I think a burst is going to be coming. There it is.
Finding this opportunity now, the heavy strokes coming out. The H is going to contest there, actually. Very good observation. Now finding this situation, the YRC, good throw tech for Aceto. The stick out that 2S in the confirm. That was sick.
I do want to point out, everyone in chat is saying how old May is. No one has said the same. I think one number has been said twice. Everyone else is saying a very different number. The point is somewhere in the 20s, which I did not know. Alright, finds the empty jump into the throw. Does Papaleo?
Oh, good. Oh, and the knowledge check. Really good stuff for Papaleo. Recognizing I can 2H there. The 50-50, that is plus a million again. How about a third? And the far slash into the double dolphin, a heavy into the light. Really mixing Aceto with the what Totsugeki's going where. Alright. Finding the opening, gets the... Oh, just unfortunate, a little bit too far out.
I love how the 6H actually caught at the very tip there to cover the air approach. It just happened to work out that way. Oh no, went for a read on an up back perhaps. It did not end up working out.
Oh, nice.
Big anti-air. Uh-oh.
Bye-bye, going in. Oh, calling out the backdash. Papaleo getting the reads. And just really trying to find this opening. Oh, the reversal. The PRC. Wheel.
Oh, the slide!
Yeah, you just got a super there. Good recognition from Papaleo. That 5K PRC worked so perfectly. And then just managed to unfortunately get hit out of the reversal. And then gold burst. I got 100 meter. Let's rock 3K. And then whatever you do, it's gonna be a mix up.
Yeah, Aceto is. It's definitely evolved to be very different than how this all opened up. I think what was unfortunate there is, once again, we got back to a couple of sequences where it felt like Aceto was just barely not in the position that they wanted to be.
Yeah, it's definitely, it's just the case where just finding your opportunities. That is so good The fact that after a counter Totsugeki, you could just throw the stagger with an overhead kiss, you get so much space, so much burst save damage. Really good awareness for Papa Leo. Finding that opening 6H, just as Totsugeki gets something started here. I don't think, does this? No, this doesn't kill.
No, but this is going to be really tough for Aceto to make it back. One of the, yeah, just a 2S to open up the round. And one of the things that I called out at the very beginning of the set, right? Like, Ino isn't really getting a whole lot of damage per interaction. So that comeback is like a lot of individual hits that all need to work out. Papa Leo had bar and burst.
Yeah, it definitely is like a really tough situation to get the comeback from it. At that point, you're just trying to work for what you can get. But forcing these plus frames, BRC so plus off to that. Nice block from Aceto. The burst, gone. Oh yeah, it's still a combo at that range. Even if you get the perfect stagger out of it, you still get combo. Zach, you're cheap. That is so cheap. Good stuff to Papa Leo, taking it 3-1 over Ace.
Match RandomGoon versus Jamonini.
Yeah, I think that is Jamonini.
Hey, as this match is about to start, by the way, I just want to give a big shout out to Pizza Monkey FGC for the $10 contribution to the Matcherino. Thank you.
Ooh, good stuff for Pizza Monkey. Good. Always good to support the Matcherino. If there's still any codes left, make sure to go over there and claim that code real quick as we get right into this next match. The RandomGoon versus Jamonini is going to be Chipp versus Giovanna. So we've seen Giovanna earlier on the stream, but now we're going to see what RandomGoon's approach to it is, as well as Jamonini's approach to the Chipp here. Oh, finding these openings through wall crack into the super wasn't fast enough? Yeah, you got plenty of time. That's going to be a kill.
Yeah. So it looks like we're establishing right off the rip the downside of Chipp, which is that man bleeds. You know, Chipp, a lot of, when we were in the, you know, tier list phase of this game where everyone had a new tier list posted every day, there was a whole lot of people showing a lot of love to Chipp. And I think there's value to that because Chipp's offense is so smothering and so good, and we're already seeing it here. But the flip side of that is look how much damage even just that back throw did.
Yeah, there's definitely like, Chipp is definitely one of those characters that's just made of sticks and paper, but definitely has so many good offensive tools in a game where offense is like really strong. Is always good to see. It has like just a lot of the things that makes the character strong. But gonna see if that's gonna play out here. Right now, it worked out for that round. Able to fight that comeback. It was able to get things started, but this duel 3, how will it work out? The J2K, that is such a good option.
Yeah, you don't anti-air this tool, right? Like, by the time you see it, it's already too late.
Yeah, well, right, it's like, you can 6P it, but it's super hard to tell when exactly because of just the different ways that Chipp can angle himself, but the biggest thing is just trying to make that whiff, and Giovanna does have the good option to make that whiff in her just really good dash, but it's just such a hard time to get, because if you get clipped by it, you just get force a knockdown, and then you're in the mixerization station.
RandomGoon, oh, sitting in a great spot to close this out, has the burst. This is going to be a couple of sequences. Oh, confirms the burst on the red RC, does Jamonini. And if you get another correct read here, Jamonini can close this out. The up back here from RandomGoon. So we see after 2 up backs, Jamonini does not finish the job, though. Goes for the overhead on the Rekka chain on the ground. It gets blocked and punished.
The heck it is, tech-wise. So I'm curious to see how Gold Lewis is going to evolve from that, and then I'm really just curious who's going to be the one to pick Gold Lewis up and kind of like put their name on the character, saying this is the one to watch, the one to really take notes from.
There's a whole lot of people that seem really excited for that character, and I will just say, I don't know that we finally have an American character to rival Guile in how American he is.
That's Secretary of Absolute Defense, but RandomGoon's gonna need some absolute defense.
Fights you with an alien while denying that aliens exist.
Oh my goodness, but RandomGoon now fighting this opening against Jamonini, able to get it back into the sweep of connected. Gonna find the opening, the first, like we mentioned earlier, recognizing the red RC didn't connect.
Right, Rekka ends with the low this time. It might have been a little bit, but like we still know that the overhead option got smoked. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. What?
Yeah, just ready for a RandomGoon with the scoop up as a punish. Definitely could have got a little bit more off it, but better safe than sorry. Now Jamonini just baiting the neutral.
No, I would like to believe that that's it, but Jamonini was saying earlier that the connection was really jittery for him. That was what this speed test was for, so I wonder whether it was just proving difficult in that situation. Hopefully not.
Yeah, it could be a little bit A, could be a little bit B, could be both. Oh my goodness, the TK there, that is another thing side. 5C plus frame. Alright, yes, you had the meter to RC. Oh, unfortunate wall run. Definitely was not looking for it, and now RandomGoon gets so much reward off that hit. Just backs off.
Oh, okay. I said it was unanti-airable. I was wrong.
No, it's definitely, like, you can 6P it. It's just very difficult to get it consistently. Just because of all the ways that Chipp can kind of adjust it. So Jamonini connecting with that JH as the air-to-air and going to be able to... Things started for him. Yeah, just like that.
The gameplay approach outside of, you know, the mix-up structure from Jamonini is... I don't want to say linear, but it's a lot of air maneuverability into jump 2K, and I feel like RandomGoon has sort of sussed out that, like, as long as he's navigating around that, he doesn't have to worry about the neutral.
Yeah, it's definitely the case where Jamonini's kind of definitely being the aggressor in this matchup right now, where just is usually, like, Jamonini's the one that's always going to be kind of trying to approach, trying to get things started. That was ridiculous. Okay, I really like that. So, wait for the dash 5K, recognizing that Jamonini did go for the instant air block, and then just saying, all right, I'm going to check you if you try to move this here with the 5P. Like, good stuff from RandomGoon, but now... yeah, like kind of where you mentioned it, where Jamonini is going to be, like, is definitely the one to aggress, and against Giovanna, you don't want to try contesting too often on the ground, just because the threat of, like, that dash, but you just have to sometimes, because if you get too predictable with it, you're going to get smoked.
All right, well, RandomGoon up 2 games here, and I can't help but feel like just a lot of it is the offense structure from Jamonini. It's a lot of cycling through sort of the same block string, and, like, ultimately kind of just, like, the second RandomGoon realized at a certain range you can just backdash out and get back to neutral. I feel like that shut down a lot from Jamonini.
Yeah, definitely. In the same vein, though, RandomGoon is kind of going for a lot of the similar defensive reactions, like, oh, you're going for this, I'll just go for that. Now, looks like Jamonini got a little bit of things started. The DPs are coming out for RandomGoon. The side swap, not able to break the wall, rather, but finding this opportunity. It's like Bogdan found the opportunity to go for the subscription. Alright, the J2K is going to come out for lows. Gamma Blade and the command throw to close up the round. The mixerization started.
It says, where's the Pokemon Unite stream? Do you not see the Ninetales on the screen right now? That's definitely, that's like in a Alolan Vulpix or a Alolan Ninetales on RandomGoon's back right now.
Yeah, you got Frog. You don't see Gengar going for the hexes right here, just teleporting right over to him. And showing RandomGoon what this corner pressure is like. Gonna be able to get the wall break here with that JD. Gonna see if I can't find this ultimate here. The counter hit is gonna be a ton of damage with Red RC. Alright, yeah. Not gonna be able to get to the wall, but that hit from so far away.
I think Jamonini's been hitting buttons on Wake Up a little bit, like we saw Wake Up 2K earlier. I think that 2D actually caught that. Oh no, the burst gets baited. Is he gonna be able to finish out this round here? Stuck in the corner, but now we're at that point in the sequence where the offense structure's been really limited again. And he was still in block stun. Finds the 2K anyway, though.
Yeah, that was just really unfortunate. Just the burst getting deleted from that J2K. There just wasn't. Recognized that the throw whiffed, but instead of going for the punish on it, just opted to go for the jump out. Just kind of a panic decision there from RandomGoon, but does have that little bit of breathing room to make a mistake here, going up 2-1 right now. But we'll see if that's going to come to bite him this game 4.
I think what I'd really love to see more of Jamonini is just, like, we're not really seeing the really layered, tricky offense from Chipp that is why so many people hold the character in such high esteem. Like, we're seeing, like, the inherent sort of stuff on, like, bringing out command grab versus bringing out, like, the Rekka string, but we're not seeing, like, cross-up blade versus staying same side versus like the whole really annoying sort of stuff you have to deal with on your wake up that just makes Chipp miserable to play because you just watch this character zip around the screen forever and you never know when to block if you're still getting hit.
Yeah, it's definitely just a difficult situation to be in, but now getting the wire C for a wire C, gonna be able to get everything started here. Just really good staggered pressure and just Jamonini just not wanting to contest it and then RandomGoon finding the opportunity. And looks like a little bit of a rough start here. Yeah, it looks like the connection issue is real.
Yeah, I mean, when you can see it on the spectator end of the client, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, but it kind of just, it happens. But so we'll see what the plan here is. Looks like a RandomGoon will just be taking the round. But, I mean, yeah, it happens. Especially because, like we mentioned beforehand, the third are going to be a little bit goofy right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, everyone, you know, I've seen people float the idea of like, oh, do you think we're going to get, you know, any balance updates with what's going on tomorrow? I think if we can get stability fixes for the servers.
Nitro and Y. So we talked a little bit about Nitro beforehand. One of the premier souls that we've seen has the RAM in the back pocket as well. Yeah, and this is like how we were talking about earlier, like when would you choose Soul, or when would you choose RAM over Soul? I think if you just don't like the mirror, I think that's a very valid reason to go for it as well.
Yeah, I always suppose that's an option. Oh, trade on the 5K. You know, earlier when I said I have a really short list of what I would want, oh, there it is already. Nitro pulling it out. We talked about the BRC fuzzy stuff. Oswaldo resubbed to show some love for Akron just as he gets smoked. Gonna get smoked again. The double overhead. Akron blocks it though. How many overheads was that? The double-double.
Yeah, that Nitro is definitely one of the only souls I've seen so far. Really, like, we've seen the Twitter tech for the BRC fuzzies, but Nitro's the only one that's like really applying it in gameplay, and you can see just how powerful that is. So good stuff, and good stuff to JF Infer soon for subscribing for another 3 months. Good stuff. Alright, trying to find this opening now. Akron just getting things started, but we'll see what the plan is. All the whiff punish made it pretty good despite popular belief does have a little bit of recovery frame. Gonna be trying to find this opening of the neutral, the 5K anti-air. Good stuff. And
does he close this out with the super? Yes, he does.
Just close enough, able to get the meaty situation here. Oh, wait for the air dash.
Now look at this. Nitro's going to cycle the pressure. Has all of it now. Akron tried to contest there. I assume because in that moment, Nitro had the 50 tension, which means Nitro's going to structure that block string around setting up another blue RC fuzzy mix-up to close out the round. And Akron didn't have the meter to YRC, didn't have the burst, so it was like, you need to cycle back, you're gonna have to reset your block string, I'm gonna contest. Just like RCB TV had to contest with his internet service provider to hit the buttons to resubscribe. Wow, that was a really long walk for that one. I picked the wrong verb.
Yeah, I mean, you got the YRCs, you got the BRCs, you got the RCBs. There's just so much to think
about. Oh, damn it! I'm gonna let you do this.
But now, Akron finding this opportunity, got the hit with the far slash, didn't confirm it, was able to get the throw instead, a little bit more damage. Alright, and now just, this is the thing about that anti-air? Oh man, I love this character. Alright,
the privilege that this character has actual pro tag privilege. We contest with the 2D, finds the big 2T counter hit, and now Nitro trying to navigate through this. Oh, you're stuck in the corner off the Fafnir. You know what Nitro is fiending for at any particular moment. You have to be worrying about this stuff, but it's not going to matter as Akron is able to close out the round anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Akron did the thing that every Soul player loves, regardless of if they admit it or not. It's just, you got 15 meter, you just start licking your lips, you start thinking about when can I die rate vortex. And now it's the opening here, the counter hit, you're gonna be able to get the route, but no, the burst from Nitro. Nitro is getting scuffed up right now, but Akron not out of it. And now they're both in a similar situation. Yeah, like I said, licking the lips, ready for the Night Raid Vortex. DRC beforehand tried to go for the Arcs is approved mix-up, but no dice. Akron gonna be able to take it that entire game. Very good adaptation.
My hope is that by the end of the set, I'll say Akron and not want to say Akon instead, and immediately have like different assorted Akon songs stuck in my head. I'm sure if Akron was gonna put any song in my head, it's probably gonna be a Genshin Impact song. If the name is any indication, one game apiece here, Akron versus Nitro in the Sol Mirror, perhaps the true end game of the first major patch of Guilty Gear Strive. We will have to see.
Are you saying this is like 20XX? Like in 20XX, everybody is playing Soul Bad guys.
It might be. This is the total recall of Guilty Gear Strive. No, I hope not. Finding the anti-air with the 5K, that burst, that was almost a really bad burst. Like, I feel like when you burst really high on the screen, it's so easy for it to just blow up in your face, but he got away with it.
Yeah, definitely was just fortunate enough where Nitro went for the jump cancel and got kind of exploded for it. Throwing a couple of these far slashes out. Really, Akron is playing this very active defense where just a lot of buttons to contest the neutral, a lot of like that jump back heavy. Bandit Bringer, this is gonna be, unfortunate drop. That was gonna actually probably be a kill if he got enough screen space off the run, but the run was a little bit too short from Nitro, but who cares? Able to get the dust. Good stuff.
Jesus, this character, it's like, Sol literally, like, Sol as a character is the same thing as his motorcycle. There is no acceleration, it just goes from 0 to 60. Oh, throw whiffs in each other's face. The thing about throw whiff is it's plus, but if you both whiff the throw, then you're actually meter and frame neutral.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those situations that's like just a classic where you whiff throw and you're like, oh, let me take that real quick. Oh, Nitro tried to get fancy with it, just going for a run-up DP, but now that's going to be a ton of damage for Akron. Here we go. I mean, like, that's just a ton of damage. You're going to be able to get the pressure afterwards as well. Baited the DP, but no dice from Nitro. The scoop, next hit. Oh, went for the PRC.
No, I think off of that far slash, I think the expectation was that he figured Nitro was going to burst, but didn't bother for it. Ooh, out throw and the far H to close out the round as Nitro closes it out. And I can't help but wonder, I assume Akron was trying to burst bait with that drop on the far slash in the corner there. And just that one wrong read is really what snowballed after the fact to bring that round back into Nitro's favor.
Yeah, it could be that. It could also be, because I know it happens to me from time to time, where it's you just, you go for the throw, you don't realize how low the opponent is until it's too late, and then you get a PRC instead of a red RC that could have just taken the round. But we'll see. The violence right off the start of Akron. Oh my goodness, my man is just going for the fences and gets so much life right off those two interactions. Good stuff for Akron, but Nitro not out of it yet. Oh, unfortunately, it was a little bit too far away. He got the far slash, the close slash.
Okay, got him pokes with that 5K. So good. I hope that button is changed in some way. Has to burst. Picks a good spot to burst immediately as the risk gauge is maximized.
Yeah, just like that. Finding the jump in, went for the GC. Not going to be able to get anything off of it, but going again for that red RC into the jump slash. Oh my goodness, the recognition, recognizing that was just close enough. The Fafnir's going to do enough damage. Nitro.
Wow.
The recognition, the optimization, you'll love to see it.
This character, man.
he's a good one. Gotta be able to just really pressure Akron here. That's one of the things that Akron did have a struggle with in that last round was the fact that Nitro was just cranking this risk gauge up to 11. Wow, nice.
Yeah. And Nitro just kind of waiting his turn here. Out of steam a little bit, but doesn't want to overextend. Burns the burst as soon as Akron gets a little bit of momentum in his own favor. And here's more of that, yeah, that active defense that you called out from Akron. Like, not just kind of sitting, but a lot of, like, high back into, like, a heavy button. He spends the burst to keep the pressure now that Nitro's back is to the corner.
Yeah, we're going to see, because established Akron does like to go for a lot of these. Oh, yeah,
oh my god.
That was a really good option for Nitro, because going for that BRC, you die, you go into the next game. It's like, oh, cool, I will not see this burst back. I am dead, goodbye forever. But we do have, I believe it was Alphabet Soup is the Chipp player versus a Soul.
Yep, it looked like the Soul player was missed. Is what I think I saw.
Gotcha. I'm not familiar with either of these two, but this is a very funny matchup, I will say.
Duel 1.
So Alpha Letter Soup versus Mist. So Soul versus Chipp. Chipp, obviously, as we saw beforehand, does have a lot of the fast mobility options that just come with him. He's also built with paper mache and sticks, so he can just explode at the moment Soul kind of just touches him. So it's definitely like a high risk, high reward sort of just game for Chipp in general in this matchup. But still able to find a lot of these openings from time to time. I am curious on how Mist is going to approach the neutral here. He has to be worried about backing off now since he is like borderline danger at this point.
Yeah, and I called it out a couple of times in against Jamonini when we saw their Chipp playing earlier. But we're seeing more of the, really wide variance of options that Chipp can bring to the table that really just overwhelm your mental stack and make it that much harder for you to make a defensive choice, right? Like, go for the one that leaves you in the air. Now you're worried about, are you going to fall with a button versus J2K, stay on the ground and do stuff after the fact, end in the Rekka string and reset the stagger. Like, all these different choices, even delay cancels on the Rekka string into the low is already like, you're worried about one thing, but it was me, the delay low.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot that Chipp has in this situation that, ooh, the recognition, just kill him off with a throw. Good stuff. And that's one of the things is, like, Chipp does have all these offensive tools. They don't need all that much damage whenever they land, but it's all about just at least keeping that turn and then just, like, for example, right here, just getting this pressure started and really make you miss question, do I want to contest after the minus ring from that Rekka? Oh my goodness, man started contesting and he just takes a mile with him and all of the life bar. Alright, gonna be able to get some pressure started, just backdashes out instead.
Double backdash in with the reverse Mario Kart. That's like in the speed run when they do the track backwards. That's the tech that Alpha Letter Suit brought out. As we go into the super confirm now, I do believe that's going to be able to kill, and the game confirms with the big heavenly graphics at the beginning to show you Alpha Letter Suit bringing out that heavenly jutsu to win out this first game here.
Yeah, that's one of the things that is really good about Chipp, that it's such a weird interaction because Chipp's Rekka series on block and on hit are both minus. Like, it's minus on hit and block, and it just keeps getting worse. So a lot of the time after, like, blocking one, or even getting hit by one, you can just press a button afterwards. Obviously, depending on frame data and stuff like that, but especially on block, like, Soul can press // pretty consistently. But as far as the cancel to the low, that makes it where, obviously, if you get hit, it's like, okay, you're going to get counter hit. I don't think he gets a combo off it. If he does, it's like a very minor one. But at least at that point, he's probably plus, at least gets to take a turn back. So just the delays into the Rekkas can just be enough for Mist to already be developing this mental stack of, like, when can I press my button? When can I start taking my turn out of this offense? And then, just like you mentioned, the mental stack, just stacking that on top of everything else that Chipp has in his arsenal. Very good, just mixerization to start off the set.
I think that's like one of the big difference between like a Death by 1,000 cuts, overwhelming mixed character like Chipp versus Eno, right? Where like Chipp's is just, the pace of it is so much faster, and the variance of options versus just the straight up high-low that Eno has, which is like all these things, and she covers her own approach in neutral with the note, versus Chipp where it's like he's just got, it's pure speed. Like everything about Chipp is just speed.
Yeah, it's something that, like, Chipp is just the case of, he doesn't need that, like, projectile Oki. He doesn't need to just cover himself with, like, that note or with, like...
He needs to go fast.
Yeah,
like, that's it.
He just has so many different aerial approach options and just so many good tools, like that J2K, the Alpha Blades. It's just able to really just force a really fast, really fast gameplay to overwhelm you very quickly. Let's see if that's going to come into play. Now, a danger again on the side of Mist. Gonna be just going for these Rekkas again, and Mist just opting to back off. That could come to bite him though. He's in danger.
Oh, the DP whiffs, and the SDP gets whiff punished. A rare sight to see in this title, but it has happened. Alpha Letter Soup gonna be looking to try to close this one out on the right hit. Ooh, I'm a little bit surprised that we weren't seeing, you know, Fish with red RC specifically to bait the burst, but gonna find the quick overhead to close out the round and game 2 anyway.
Yeah, that definitely was a case where, burst baiting in this game is so awkward a lot of the time. I mean, granted, it's awkward in like any game because the fact of like he knows that I'm gonna burst, so I'm not gonna burst, but he knows that I have to burst, otherwise it'll kill. So you gotta it's all these different layers, and maybe it wasn't even that deep. Maybe Alpha Letter Soup just was like, I'm just gonna go for an overhead and try to kill you, and then just got bursted. So we'll see exactly how this all will play out in the game 3. And Mist has been just really taking this defensive approach, while Aeon has been taking the 3 trillion month approach with the 13 months, 9 month streak. Good stuff for subscribing and supporting the stream as usual. So we'll see how it works out. That was another thing, is that he hasn't Alpha Letter Soups hasn't been using the command throw as often. We've seen a lot of it. A lot of his pressure stems from that Rekka series. So we'll see if that's going to change up. I mean, it's been working for him so far, but just the threat of that command throw, you can contest it, but so far Mist has been kind of respecting or going for more backdashes, which at the timing that Mist is going for, honestly, the command throw will actually beat it. It's really good.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many options, and I mean, in these longer sets, saving some of these other tools for different spots, it's so hard to make someone just be willing to kind of hold him down back sometimes. Oh, I didn't even see that mix.
Yeah, that was a really fast cross from Alpha Letter Soup. But he got all that, but then he's just soaked up that life bar. The 6S, nice PRC to block it, and just really going back to the neutral. Getting scoop, and this is gonna kill. Yeah, Steven didn't go for this. What the cool animation to go with it? I respect that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't get to bring the meter with you. Mist taking the round here, but that was, I think, for Mist, part of the reason that round went so well, as we have another great round start here, is the rounds are very early going Mist favor on one minor interaction, and just by virtue of the amount of damage that Sol can output in general, combined with the paper and stick construction of Chipp. As Chipp breaks the wall anyway. Point being is, if Mist does get started, it swings so thoroughly in his favor, even off of what would otherwise be a comparatively minor interaction, that it ends up being a huge deal. Are we going to get back-to-back wall breaks? Okay, Alpha Letter Soup is bringing this man on a tour.
No, absolutely, yeah. Gets the 5H into the Alpha plate, and now on set point here, like you mentioned, the type of round 1 that in this game 3 that we've seen is the exact type of stuff that Mist wants. Just real quick, real fast, just execution style. Let me just get these 2 or 3 hits and just call it a day. But Alpha Letter Soup is definitely kind of changing it up, making it a little bit harder for her to pin down. Oh, was not able to get the whiff punish on that. Using the 2H. Counter hit trade, and that is good for Alpha Letter Soup.
Oh, this is a tough spot. We've seen Alpha Letter Soup has the one-touch confirmed on the far slash of the super, so this is quite sincerely a one-touch game here. The difference is, spins the gold burst and it whiffs. Are we going to see the blue RC?
For the far slash. It didn't recognize the
He didn't believe!
Oh no! Is that and this is going to be scaled up damage. The BRC was able to block the burst. Oh no!
The magic overhead.
Yeah, I want to know what he's doing. But yeah, no, that's so funny that it worked out that way. But looks like we will be going into it. And yes, Miss, the servers have been having some issues tonight, but we're just going to be playing it through it and seeing what we can get out of it. But now Nitro versus Papa Leo, and now Nitro is just going to be playing the slow game. So this matchup is very interesting because May has a lot of tools that doesn't have many tools on defense rather to really contest Soul. While in the same vein, a lot of her neutral options can be just kind of incredibly annoying. Just like that, unfortunately, was not able to get the combo here, but Nitro says, I got it for you, amigo. Breaks the wall. Oh, Nitro. 6 feet for a 6 feet. You'll love to see it.
Yeah, so I mean, Nitro, conservatively, you want to be able to win at this round without spending the burst, and he does on the strength of that 3-frame 5K on Wake Up. Nitro takes the first round, preserves the burst going into the next round even.
Yeah, like just really glad to save the burst. Now just fighting this opportunity to just get that far slash, recognizing to the honors that that's not an actual situation.
Ooh.
And, yeah, you just have to burst
Yeah,
it. That was
that's
a
a good
1,008,000
burst.
damage. Alright. So Tsukaki just forcing the flush range, recognizing he minus, went for the 6S to call out not only a button, but also the backdash. Alright. RC. Just gonna be able to get the Oki situation. Yeah, that is overhead kiss is really good in this situation. The charge 6H. And now next hit kills for either player.
Yeah, well, the difference, right, is Papa Leo having burst on deck means that Nitro needs to be worried about this. Blue RC means Blue RC backdrift, Red RC specifically to bait the burst, so Papa Leo waits until after the Red RC to burst after the fact to preserve the round, but we're still going to get the hit. Does not have the hit after the fact on the far slash, and the Dolphin into the Red RC from Papa Leo is going to close it up. But what an explosive sequence in those last couple of seconds on the side of both players. So many great decisions.
Yeah, that was sick. So good counter hit, he just has to burst that. Yeah, Nitro recognizing, yeah, this is gonna be way too much damage. Alright, gotta get the pressure started here. Ooh, nice confirm for the 5K. Not able to get the full pickup, but the reversal super not gonna be enough, but it's gonna get you close. Nice call out from Papa Leo.
Papa Leo's specifically watching for that backdash in a couple of spots, right? That the blue RC weirdness that opened up at the end of that previous round was on Papa Leo blue RCing to chase a backdash, and then Nitro blue RC backdrifted to avoid the blue RC chase down.
That was just good. Like the adaptation from both sides, the recognition there, just saying, you know what, backdash here is like a really good option, and you're probably expecting me to go for an overhead kiss or going for just a lot of different options. Just say, let me just run with you for a little bit, amigo. Let me tell you how you do it.
Duel 1.
But now going into game 2 between these two. 2S to start things off and just jumping over the gunplay. I actually had to block it instead. Oh yeah, once again, unfortunate. Just do the honor a little bit too close to home, and the soul's gonna be knocking on your front door. Plus frames. Clash!
What? And he was ready to keep hitting buttons after that? Are you kidding me?
That is such a good option for Nitro. Oh my goodness, yeah, the 6S a little bit, it's too low to the ground. It's gonna block the super. Oh, and this is not death actually. Gonna be a little bit too much guts on the side of May, and now, all right, nice just block on the on that bandit revolver, and now gets something started here. Got hit. Oh, and it's even safe. The timing is good for there. You blocked the
God. So what I was gonna say is this was looking like such a similar story to, oh god, the PRC trades, the PRC drift to dodge, and then the whiff punish on Papa Leo's fishing at an anti-air. What I was gonna say is that was looking like a very similar opening round to game 1, where Nitro was in a position where the round was starting to get away from him, and what was important was to preserve the burst. But that round already went away from Nitro, which is representative of the fact that Papa Leo seems like he's really just getting much more comfortable. My god, chaining this offense together, finds the big counter hit. Nitro has to DP to get out of the corner. Papa Leo has burst on deck once again, and continuing to chase these defensive options down.
Oh yeah, he probably loves to go for that. Has 100 meter, gonna go for the wake up super RC. Oh, was expecting the burst for Papa Leo, the hard bait from Nitro, but nobody's knocking. The only one's knocking that far slash. Gonna try to get something started. 6P, I do believe it's counter hit on the startup. RC really baiting it, but not going for the jump kicks off the close slash to really seal the bait. The wild throw, it's all you need. Yeah. Good stuff from Nitro right there.
I love, like, great from Nitro to close out the round, but I love the recognition on the side of Papa Leo to understand that Nitro, if Nitro has 50 tension and the combo is big enough that burst is a factor, Papa Leo is specifically waiting for Nitro to burn the resource before he bursts and gets back, both to preserve himself, but then, like, on the top of that, like, you can burst and reset, or you can burst and make them have wasted 50 tension as well. Like, just even managing to navigate the rounds to get just a little bit more economically out of the way that Papa Leo is using his resources.
Yeah, definitely like good recognition and same awesome. Ooh, the 5K, really good recognition from Nitro there. This is gonna break the wall. No, doesn't want to let Nitro build all that additional meter. This is all burst safe for the most part. Okay, goes for the overhead kiss again. It's a 50-50 amigo, which way you block him. And he got scooped for blocking. And just like that, the damage from Papa Leo coming out. Closing up the round.
I actually looked at my screen too late. I looked at the playback to be like, at what point of that combo were you allowed to burst? Because it looked like he ate the command grab, got hit once, immediately wall splatted, and then did not get the opportunity to burst then.
Yeah, I think like the only time would be like a delay burst, and that's just like off the ball. Hardly. Oh, taking the soul. He's ridiculous. He's OD.
Jesus. Papa Leo up 2-1 here on Nitro, and it's just the presence of mind, right? Like every decision, like the offensive structure, I mean, look at the way that Papa Leo is structuring his offense, and these wide ranges from like super tight and explosive offense with like immediate 6Hs or like right into Totsugekis to keep Nitro honest, and then cheating out these really long gaps to open up these dash up command throws. It's like the whole gamut. I mean, there it is again, going for these, you know, command grab resets in spots where Nitro is, you know, not expecting that this is going to be what's coming.
Yeah, okay, that's a situation that Nitro does seem very familiar with. I mean, you mentioned it a little bit earlier, going for the DP into the far slash. Looks like that is just his answer to, in the case that Papa Leo does go for these H's. But Papa Leo looking incredibly comfortable. The reads on Papa Leo, that was the second, like, I think that's like the second time that he's gone for the otter ball setup into the calling out backdash. It's so good from Papa Leo, but Nitro still not out of it, but he is on this, he's fighting for his life here. Set point right out for Papa Leo. How is it going to work out between the two? A little bit too far.
No.
The FD pushing him too far away.
Right, the frame trap's working out in Nitro's favor this time. Went for the regular throw, or I'm sorry, the jump cancel options there to really trying to, like the way that Nitro is trying to open up his offense to deal with how intelligently Papa Leo is making defensive choices. It is interesting, but I feel like he's struggling to find the right timber in the way that he's choosing to do that.
Yeah, he's finding he's finding these smaller opportunities here and there, but it's just the overall scheme is just not working out for him. But I do like, we talked a little bit about it with like the heroes burst, the Kali burst, and stuff like that, where you're just low life, and it's like you'd rather just save it for round 2. Leo already cashed out his burst here. Just I'm saving it for that last round, and now Nitro looking good for this round, but it's never out of the picture. It is just one cataclysm away from a bad time. This is a way to start this. Papa Leo.
He did!
All right. Yeah, calling out the wake up backdash using the active frames off that 6S. And now just like that, you know, Nitro definitely, like we mentioned, not out of it. Papa Leo's had a lot of good reads, has a lot of good offense started, but can never count Nitro out. Back to the wall, the man's got the plan.
Yeah, he really upped the intensity in that round, is I think a big part of it. Like just the utilization of DPs in some of these spots. The reversal super was very telling. It's just, I think it gone a little bit wild defensively to sort of be like, all right, Papa Leo, I've been letting you get away with some stuff. Now you're gonna respect me enough that we're gonna go back to, you know, having a conversation rather than you just running your mouth over me.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely an adjustment. Because game 1, we saw Nitro kind of starting like this, like, I wouldn't say it was like, not like 75% were aggression. Just starting things off really, like, not full throttle. And then kind of slowing things down, which let Papa Leo get things well started. But now Nitro's saying, I gotta go full throttle here. But even then, Papa Leo's still finding these, like, these situations. The heavy DP. Oh, yeah, there you go. The double speed hit combo. Gets the setup with the gunflame, but Totsugeki out of there. Oh, unfortunate burst this really wants this round. The air throw.
Oh, that's huge. I was going to say, I don't know how much I agree with the burst in that spot, but the 5K, it was the wrong decision, and the jump in approach from Papa Leo smokes it. Papa Leo is back on set point. Nitro's going to get burst back, presumably in this round. 6P hits super deep there.
Yeah, like you mentioned, won't be having his burst back on this next hit. Yeah, just finally got it back. The 6-8 gonna be super plus. The double Tosugeki. Try to call anything out from Nitro. Now goes for the super. Oh no! Oh, but it's so hard. Yeah, you can't. It's really hard to punish with the vortex.
Look at that risk!
Oh yeah. Oh no! Unfortunate. Was not able to get it, but was it ready to flash cancel this time around? RC, the 3K will do it. The little hat juggle, just in true Zack fashion. Gonna be able to take it over Nitro 3-2 and a real nail-biter in the set. That was fantastic.
And during a Guilty Gear stream, who answered the call? Here comes Daredevil. Evil Knievel answers the call. Sometimes it just comes full circle and it just works out. And here we are loading in to the next top 24 match. JMartiles versus KidBuumer. Faust versus Potemkin.
Yeah, so this is, I'm actually really surprised. I've never seen JMartiles either, but so KidBuumer, Potemkin from Canada, we did get the info that he was Potemkin. So we'll see. Faust is definitely a character I was not expecting to see, nor this matchup really, but we're going to figure out what's going to go on here. The backdash on the Garuda, that's too many active frames. You aren't going to be able to do that. You gotta be able to get things started. Faust is an interesting character. Has a lot of really long tools that can kind of pose a problem for Pot, but at the same time he does struggle a little bit in the defensive scenarios that Pot will definitely put you into. Oh, he crawled over the 6-8!
That's very interesting. Blue RC makes it whiff, but he was not in range? Question mark? The back throw whiffs, real unfortunate. The gold burst has to be used to pass out through the little homie. Caught the backdash with the 2K. JMartiles sitting pretty here with this corner offense. KidBuumer has to try to navigate his way out.
Yeah, that was just a freaky situation, but nice block of the Mega Fist, recognizing it's punishable. And just use the opportunity to get some items going. And I really like the amount of flip we've seen from KidBuumer. Gets the projectile, but the confirm. That was really
so great. I mean, the second the trumpet came out, right? Like you saw the trumpet came out, and JMartiles is immediately like, all right, I gotta cover the hell out of the whole screen and really press the offense. And that's one of the things, like, Faust is another character. Faust is the other character when we talked about like the one or two outliers that maybe have kind of stayed a little bit weaker. But Faust is just a character where like his kit has so many weird and bizarre interactions that like it's gonna take a while to solve some of it. And some of the ways that we're watching JMartiles really being able to synchronize all of the different tools at his disposal together here is really interesting. Block of the Garuda, RC.
Just finding these good opportunities, able to call out with the bomb, and yeah, the presence of the bomb makes you want to block it and give Pot this Afro, gets the fuzzies, and just has to be ready to block the Afro explosion. Good flick!
Yeah, the flick has been a consistent choice here from KidBuumer, but I love the way that like JMartiles is committing to air options late enough to try to do it in reaction. Oh my god! PRC off the teleport into the back throw, threw him into another dimension. Shout outs to Wolf Mother if y'all want to be reminded of what 2008 was like.
That was really good. I really like that option. So just throwing a couple of items out and then just recognizing, okay, you're at that good positioning where I could go for the backward, like the behind Scarecrow PRC, like fast PRC, you're in throw range. You ain't taking that. Just really good, like just awareness from JMartiles and just really getting a lot of things just going his way and reacting to armor really well against Pot.
Yeah.
Landed the slow overhead. Now just gonna be able to try to find that opportunity. And that's what KidBuumer's been looking for. Is the opportunity to slide head. Meteors are coming out. Just recognize. Oh, this flick, but the flick lost to the meteors. That's ridiculous. Hammer ball, but it's hard to go from it. But went over the Afro actually.
Wow. Yeah, managed to navigate around it, and this is probably the best spot that KidBuumer's been in. But JMartiles finding the space to make the way back, and these red RC cancels off of the tornado. Oh, the trumpet is there, and now KidBuumer stole the trumpet. I'm sorry, your homies are my homies.
Yeah, they're able to just really like force that air action, but that's one of the good things about Faust. I mean, granted, it's like a blessing and curse in the fact that if the opponent does take the trumpet, you do have a lot of options in the air to really just not have to deal with your own homie. But in the same vein, it does still, like, you know, grant the opponent that option of just forcing you out of your own turn.
Oh my god, it's been like all bananas this round here, JMartiles. That's sort of the part of the difficulty of playing a character like Faust. And look at that. I actually did. Is Potemkin so big that even though JMartiles did the tornado specifically to cover and get the trumpet, Potemkin still got the trumpet?
Yeah, I think just the wide body of Pot is able to just get it there, but the weight is coming through. And just gonna be able to give him a nice little cut up, get him that for and now. The pressure was expecting the fun, he got caught with the low. In the scoop on the syringe.
That was so smart because you know the syringe is the best option. A, it ignites, and B, it sets up the fuzzies off of the extended hurt box. So fishing for the anti-air in that spot is so smart. KidBuumer with a game on the board for himself. We tie it up 1-1.
Yeah, that was just really, like, KidBuumer definitely, like, we saw a lot of the similar answers, but just was able to get more of the offensive reads in play and just able to really just get more started against JMartiles, but definitely like a nail biter so far between these two. And it also kind of mixed in with like you hit on with like just the nature of Faust. Like it's all bananas and like it's just really rough whenever you aren't getting your super effective items.
Or like if it wasn't bananas, it was trumpet that just landed on Potemkin anyway because Potemkin's huge. Has to go for the command grab for it. The trumpet does come out and work out this time.
Yeah, gonna be able to get the hammer. That's just gonna crank up the risk a little bit, but no, nice. Able to get the block, but it's only 0 if the slide ends. So now, able to get something started.
Hit him with the cheeky 5D mix. So with the 2K being multiple hits, you can cancel the different hits into 5D, and it's, you know, a little bit harder. There we see it again. That was canceled on an earlier part of it now.
Yeah, definitely doing a good job of mixing up all the tools at disposal. Now just gonna get a couple of donuts and cover a little more light. A bomb. Just gonna contest the neutral here. Now just throwing a lot of it out, just really making sure that there's something on the screen to make KidBuumer just think about the neutral. Stacking it up and getting the run up throw. Good mental stack from
yeah, I mean that was just clean, solid play. JMartiles had a really strong life lead and has the range advantage and the options against the grappler. So just sit there and wait and take your turn. Or take your time, I should say, until you get to take your turn.
Yeah, like you don't have to commit the situation. It's all up to KidBuumer to really make the call there. Just like that, made the call to go for a couple of 5Ps, gonna be able to get that collider of sorts. The hammer's coming through, but just a red RC to avoid it. Just wants to keep his turn. A flick into the corner.
Right, this is a tough spot. He's going to be able to try to start to navigate his way out. JMartiles, oh, the command grab, or not, I'm sorry, not the command grab, the teleport PRC, but goes for strike in the strike throw mix this time.
Hammer, yep, and recognizing KidBuumer when it's blocking, give him a nice afro. And this time just going for the low. It's not even trying to go for the fuzzy right now. This is a full combo.
Right. You're going to have positive bonus now. What are you going to do? Immediately checks at round start, and he's going to get the whip punish, the teleport in the face of
that
KidBuumer trying to be the aggressor.
That was really good. So just the fact that KidBuumer went for the hammer fall and the PRC connected on him, like, your RCs do have startup. They're around like 7 frames, I think, besides red RC. So especially when slowed down, that's like, you're going to be, it's hard to actually cancel off of that. Like, once you're slowed down, you're going to be slowed down even, like, and just cancel. Makes it super difficult for KidBuumer to get out of that situation. JMartiles able to come out on top from the interaction. The bomb's behind him. Oh my. That worked out perfectly for JMartiles.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just another spot here where, like, you can afford to wait and take your turn. You've got this life lead. It is beholden upon KidBuumer to try to make something happen. Finds the 2D, but you have the burst. I mean, you'll take those.
Yeah, I mean, finding the openings, just Hammerfall does connect a trumpet. Now, JMartiles backs off. Garuda impact. What's the mix-up? Gotta get hit with the low and the counter hit. Mix-up again? Yeah, this is the situation.
We're finding out whether Faust will blend, is what's happening here. And it looks as though the answer to the question is probably. What's it going to be again? Okay, goes for a delayed strike, and it ends up working out here. KidBuumer taking the round.
Yeah, that is just such a really good situation from Potemkin, just getting that 2K2D into the Garuda impact setup off of a little hammerfall cancel. Like, it is just super super good, because if you block low, you're gonna get scooped. If you block too high, you're gonna get just like, it's just such a skewed situation.
We're seeing, like, JMartiles is getting away with jumping slide head a lot. Okay, YRC. Oh, but the YRC was baited.
Alright. Yeah, we see JMartiles just going for a lot of the crouch block, just recognizing, you know what, you have to scoop me before you can threaten me with it. Oh,
the little homie's gonna keep him safe? Okay. He protected the burst at the very least. Little homie's back out again.
And just like that, that 5P gonna do some work here, tying up the set 2-2 between these two.
This is looking really tight, and it's like, you know, has Faust been a little bit of a struggle so far in the early lifespan of this game? Sure, you know, a lot of historical Faust players have been, you know, struggling to try to find the rhythm with this character, but I mean, this is one of those matchups where I feel like he has all the tools that he kind of needs. Obviously, you're still beholden to the RNG, but that's sort of the social contract that you're signing up for when you pick Faust, right? Like,
yeah, that's the fun of the character, regardless of, like, obviously it's a deterrent at times, but it's also the part that makes him makes Faust. But now able to get things started. It's this, yeah, definitely like one of the weaker characters, but in the same vein, like, JMartiles is definitely just playing the character very well and just able to make a lot of the good situations. But KidBuumer with the scoop, the red RC, and yeah, just combo to close it. And now it's gonna be set point for KidBuumer. Ooh, nice run up with the air throw, give him a cut.
Setting up the afro, instant overhead setups get blocked. Man is cooking.
Alright, the bomb gonna go off a little bit beforehand, so not gonna be hit by his own bomb, fortunately. The syringe, but the Mega Fist to contest it gets the scoop, but Heavy was a little bit too far away.
Oh, the back Mega Fist out of the command grab, but the little homie keeps him safe after the fact. Unfortunately, JMartiles corners himself. KidBuumer has burst. There's no reason to spend it here. You can bring it into the final round. JMartiles just needs to make anything happen. There's not even any meter for KidBuumer to try to make something happen. Cannot armor through his own death. And we are in the true final round here.
Yeah, that was just really well played for JMartiles all throughout that round. But it's gonna, will that be the trend for this game 3? Is this gonna be the final round, or round 3 rather? All right, the bomb's gonna work out for him. The trumpet masked by the 100 tons.
Continuing to navigate forward, picks up his own afro, but that's fine. You cannot armor through this, sir. And he gets the whiff punish. The empty jump works out as the slide head whiffs. KidBuumer stuck in the corner. We've got the bar, fast fall, YRC, it gets punished.
Oh, the unfortunate got the scissors, was probably going for another route actually, but ended up unfortunately getting the drop to 5D with nothing to cancel it to. Oh my goodness.
JMartiles is in a great spot here, as long as, like, if this swings out of his favor, he has burst. Oh my god! Run in behind the bomb as KidBuumer tries to make something happen. Blocks the 2D. Gold burst, you brave man, but the command grab is gonna close it out.
Dude, that last, like, sequence was really, like, just make it or break it for JMartiles. I love that. He went for the item toss, recognized its bomb, and instead of being like, yeah, you know, it's bomb, I'm gonna, like, try to, you know, play soccer with him a little bit, like we're gonna have this fun little kickball game. Just the command throw whiff, and then if you can just react accordingly, they're slowed down with the PRC. But we will have another match of this top 24 winner side. Will be qualifying for the top 8 between Reflected and Uploader Soup. We saw Uploader Soup earlier, but not Reflected. We're gonna see how this is gonna work out. Another approach to the Soul versus Chipp matchup here.
Yeah, I mean, with the number of souls that we're seeing in the bracket so far today, especially this deep in the bracket, I feel like there's probably going to be a fair few representations of, like, the Soul versus XYZ matchup. Starting with the server matchup, it's looking like, as unfortunately The Strife servers derail the match a little bit again there. As we've said a couple of times, you know, the big server maintenance is going live tomorrow, so this is just an unfortunate reality of the timing of this particular tournament today, rare as this is. Alpha Super finds the combo on the wall break with the super. They're going to get the positive bonus moving forward. Still has burst on deck.
Just able to find that opportunity, and now with positive bonus, but the Bandit Krieger does connect. Alright, and now we're in the corner. It's gonna Red RC. Oh, unfortunate timing for the YRC. It just decided to burst. Really doesn't want to give up this life advantage that he has in this round. I feel that. Nice contest for that 5.
Yeah, I mean, the burst is... It would have been nice to preserve the burst, obviously, but like with the amount of damage that Saul has on deck, like you seriously, if you hadn't bursted that, it would have been a one-touch game. Although it's a one-touch game anyway, virtually, the backdash through the throw though, and the 2K2D reflected does not find the burst into that string, does not react in time. Alpha Letter Super preserves the round for himself.
Yeah, just like that, made the burst work. Especially in those situations, it definitely is like a, should the burst work, should it not? Definitely doesn't come into question. But just like that, he's gonna, oh my goodness, he didn't get the proper cancel from the 5K. The second of 5K can be really going to cancel from that time, so I feel that in my bones. It did not matter in the long run. Is able to find another opening, just like that, like we mentioned, made of paper mache and sticks.
I mean, that was insane. And one of the things Reflected is doing really well is like there are answers to all of these more varied things that Chipp has, right? It's just that because Chipp has so many of these things and sometimes the answer between them is so discrete that it's hard to make the right call. But Reflected is A, making the right call, and B, with the great 5K that is jump cancelable, gets a whole lot of damage for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a very good situation for himself, but now it looks like Alpha Letter Soup is just gonna try putting the mix into session. It's the gunplay, but just to test the neutral. 6H was not gonna have the recognize the cancel, but that 6P was fantastic. Oh, this super, yeah, you're dead. If not dead from the super, you get to RC afterwards. Yeah, you didn't even need to RC afterwards. Good stuff from Alpha Letter Soup.
Yeah, but that was tumultuous, though. Like, that whole round had to make a couple of gutsy offensive decisions. And in a lot of these spots where Alpha Letter Soup really had to sort of stretch what they were bringing to the table, Reflected had that answer, right? Like, we saw that overhead from the Wrecker String maybe one time, and the far slash was ready. You know, in one of the previous rounds, went for the meaty Alpha Blade setup that leaves him sort of in the air above you to come down with a falling limb. Reflected was ready with anti-air 5K and a mad damage. You know, the answers are all there. It's just lining them up in the right order, you know?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. See how that's going to apply here in this game, too. The JH does get started here with Gambling. Yeah, 6B. I really like the option. Gambling is going to be plus, but you can sometimes contest like the R slash afterwards with that 6B. You do run the RPS of that 2S, though, but we'll see how it's going to work out. But yeah, the dust is blocked, but a little bit too far for the punish.
Trying to represent 6H in the neutral, it looks like, is Reflected.
Yeah, I do not agree with that, but it's definitely the case where if it does connect, Chipp does obliterate. So we'll see if that's something that Reflected wants to go for, or if that was like a missed cut on a heavy DP call out or something like that.
Did you see the timing at which that S Volcanic Viper got hit? Like, the weird particle effect actually mixed me up on the screen. Wow, ran in this man all the way up. Somebody call Chipp into the Gundam 00 universe so that he can make the new orbital elevator.
Oh wow, the gold burst timing does work out to call it the double alpha blade, and now Reflected has a lot of bar on his side, but not a burst in case he does need it. Oh, the anti-air, a little bit too high, and recognizes it, goes for the JH confirm. Alright.
Oh, okay, right into the... Oh, I like that choice. The red RC right into the super jump J2K to try to side switch and get back to the corner. Here's the problem. You're blocking Saul, and Saul just walked you all the way to the other one.
Yeah, it's definitely the case of, like, right now it's up to how will Alpha Letter Soup react to the defensive situation. Is he going to contest with the butt? Is he going to DP? We're going to have to figure out. The backdash is going to get called out, but the burst!
Needed it. And that's fine. Goes for the cross-up, continuing the offense. Bandit Bringer hits a little bit shallow. Alpha Letter Soup whiffs the Gamma Blade. And he's been super, super aggressive with these DPs so far through this set.
Yeah, that was definitely like just like a very unfortunate hard call out from Alpha Letter Soup. Nice call outs. Reflected is just starting to contest with these 2Ps just to really like stop the forward movement or just the overexertion from Alpha Letter Soup, but we'll see if that's going to continue to be the case. PRC at the throw, like we mentioned a little bit earlier in the stream. 5K does whip on the backdash, but now in the other corner, unfortunate to not get the Bandit Revolver.
Once again, the overhead gets clipped by the 6P there from Reflected. He is so ready for these Rekka overhead mix-ups. Alpha Letter Soup continuing to pressure the offense, goes for the cross-up option, keeping it back to the corner. YRC from Reflected, and he swings through.
That was super unfortunate for Reflected side. Definitely was buffering the Gunflame Fate just to get continued pressure afterwards and believing the block happened, but did up not blocking, was did drop the combo, but then was able to recover it. That's the most important part is from these sort of situations, is especially after like a drop off of like a premature buffer or like just a misconstrued read, just saying, okay, I messed that up, let me find the next thing that will recover the situation to take the round. Alright, so let's see how this is going to work out in this game 3 between these two. Right now tying up for Gunflame. New presence in the neutral, just going to contest this grab bit. Like we mentioned before, it is anti-airable, but it is very difficult to get consistently. That 5K from Soul does work out in this situation, though. Most of the time it just loses, though. So very fortunate situation from Reflected. Wow, I cannot
believe that state, like that hit, and like look, man, you need quantum mechanics to explain how that interaction just worked.
Yeah, that was insane, especially like with Bandit Breaker, depending on where it hits will be plus or minus, but that range was probably like -1, -2. And it just Reflected just saying, yo, I'm just gonna mash 2P here. I don't believe you're gonna contest. If you're gonna contest, it's gonna be a little bit too late. But nice, baited the burst, but no dice. Alright.
Ooh, nice trip guard off of the Bandit Bringer, rather, from Reflected. But Alpha Letter Soup, just the offense from Reflected, like as Reflected gets more comfortable navigating the neutral with Alpha Letter Soup, the result of it is that Reflected is getting more of these opportunities, and Alpha Letter Soup defensively is just crumbling. And I mean, we even saw that in the beginning. The DP was represented so heavily in the first 2 games, and it's kind of this spot now where like he's been dissuaded from it, and Reflected is just running away with it because each of these DPs, I mean, you can't guess wrong with Chipp. You'll lose everything that you have.
Yeah, you definitely have to take a lot of assessments in your risk reward, because like your risk is much higher than like higher in this game, especially against characters that have like insane damage, so like May, Soul, etc. But we're gonna see how this is gonna work out in this last bit. And kind of like we mentioned, where just Reflected's got really comfortable on the offense. It's I think just the reads on these bursts as I'm saying it. Like he's recognized how Alpha Letter Soup likes to burst, and because Alpha Letter Soup usually will burst out the first hit of like a counter hit from like a far slash. So just recognizing that and just getting really acquainted with how Alpha Letter Soup wants to burst, and that is one thing that a Chipp cannot afford, is a blocked burst, because he's not seeing it for the rest of this round.
Jeez, this is, I mean, Reflected is absolutely running away with it. Like, everything about this round has been thoroughly communicating how dissuaded Alpha Letter Soup is from contesting in the neutral. Finally finds the DP, and it was exactly long enough for Reflected to be like, I bet you're getting antsy. I can hear the 6-2-3.
Yeah, I can hear your arcade stick juggling from the other side of, like, from wherever they are.
Insisted the whole time, he's like, I don't even play this game. But he's someone that I've known for years, so I know he's got fundamentals, and it's like, it was the first time I had actually sat and played an Axel. I was like, oh, this is the worst. This is just, there's nothing redeeming about this. But I am extremely excited for this next match. 7 versus RandomGoon. RandomGoon on the Geo that we had previously seen. 7 rocking the Nagoriyuki. First one we've seen today.
Yeah, so we're gonna see how this is gonna work out. So Nago is definitely a character that is quite strong, but it still seems like it's a very interesting character because Nago's like quite strong, but then you see like the comments of like, oh, maybe he's not so good, maybe this, that, you get in Blood Rage, you die. But then in some situations like this, with proper Blood Gauge management that we've seen so far from Seven, like, you just maintain this level 2 slashes, you get so many just strong neutral options and tons of damage. You know, just gotta be careful about that Blood Rage. Isn't gonna be popping just yet, but yeah, now you gotta be careful about the pop. Oh, unfortunate, was not paying attention to the Blood Gauge, and then gotta be set full screen for it, but still.
Right, but I mean, the flip side of that, right, is like RandomGoon backed off, but like now Seven has the opportunity to go a little bit buck wild with the special moves to close the gap in and let it be his turn again to try to close it out. So
yeah,
like,
absolutely. And it also
it
gets
sucks,
back into that.
but like if all it does is stall the game for about 5 seconds and make you lose a bunch of health, like it sucks, but like it could be worse, conservatively speaking.
Yeah, no, it definitely could be worse. And also, like, for the Nagoriyuki side, it does give him, like mentioned, that a little bit more room to use these specials to just get that little last bit of health left out of pressure.
Ooh.
But just like Nokami resubbing, see how this is going to work out between Seven and RandomGoon. No Lotto on this screen, but appreciate the resub. Alright.
This is so difficult. The late cancel into the low from Seven as he closes out the game. And you know what? What I'm loving seeing from Seven right now is more of the utilization of blue RC stuff. So like on a couple of those occasions, I mean, we saw blue RC enabling an air throw in round 1, and then in round 2 gave him a close slash combo off of 2K with the quick load check. I am loving this utilization of the options, right? And like, Nagoriyuki is unique in the cast in that he's chaining his special moves into themselves natively, right? So in theory, it actually opens up for you to use your tension in these slightly different ways. It's not dissimilar to like, Zato doesn't need to use the meter to, you know,
like
set up
cancel,
mix-ups, so he gets, you know, supers a lot. It's not dissimilar to that, where it's like you don't always need red RC in quite the same way, so you get these different choices.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, there's a lot of like unique pressure options, especially off of like we see the spinning top. We talked a little bit about the Beyblade earlier, but just able to just go for it, and then because of the fact that you can special cancel afterwards, you set up for this like strong strike throw mix up off of like any block with it. So it's definitely something you have to be ever present with. But RandomGoon finding this opportunity to go in, it just really doesn't want Seven to have any sort of start here. Gets the using the burst defensively, the bait with that heavy, a little bit too not enough damage from that the OTG, but was able to RC and really just take control of that round.
Yeah. The difficulty there for RandomGoon, and it's part of why he really didn't want for Seven to get started, is in this matchup, once Nago finds that like tier 3 blood gauge and lives in that pocket, Nago's buttons start to be such that it is that much harder for RandomGoon to navigate the neutral. You really want to get in early and not give Nago the opportunity to get started, just because like if it resets to neutral, it's going to be in Nago's favor. And then look at that. Found the level 3 blood gauge and then was just able to navigate through, like has so much control of the screen, spend the RCs specifically to, you know, force some of these difficult situations, and now you're stuck.
Yeah, and I mean, like, just off of all that, was able to get all this started, just be using that enhanced heavy to really just control this horizontal space. That way, like mentioned, RandomGoon was not able to get the full like dash into far slash that Giovanna just loves to do.
Like, look at that. Far heavy actually covers like 3/4 screen, and what's RandomGoon gonna do? You don't get to, I mean, your best case scenario is like, if the poke is 5S, you can like dash into 2D and try to low profile, but even that's a hard sell, especially because Seven is prioritizing 2S or 5H.
Yeah, and just really just a lot of just good option rotation between all of them. And now let's see how this is going to work in this last little bit. Both characters can really just call the next hit. The 2S is well placed from Seven. And now really any sort of scratch is gonna knock
We're in that level
down.
2 zone now, though. Okay. RandomGoon maybe got a little bit too antsy. You finally had that pocket as soon as 7. Really interesting character. And the fact that the good Nagoriyuki players are so comfortable really living in that level 3 sort of blood gauge pocket and suddenly becoming this full screen, like limb generating monster where it's like, I'm sorry, I'm going to hit far H and you're going to respect the hell out of these hitboxes.
Yeah, it's definitely just a case of what he's like turned into is just very, very strong with this game as we right now. But the counter hit on the first. Oh my!
Was it so? It was it. I wonder. I saw it on the startup of a dash, and I was immediately like, "Oh my god, is 7 an actual god?"
Yeah, that might have been actually a hard call out of the dash. Who knows? Could have been misinput. But we'll see exactly how this is gonna work out between these two. Just getting this pressure with that 6K. Gonna get the top with this 6H OTG. That's a ton of damage.
It does so much. It does act like chunks on chunks.
Yeah, it is just it's so much damage. It gives you just so much advantage, even though like you're giving up your like hard knockdown, but you still get the sliding knockdown, and you get that cancel with that. Ooh, but the YRC called out, but ended up using the burst. 7 does not want to let RandomGoon have any breathing room in this match right now. Able to connect, but now any hit will kill.
Yeah, I mean, this is a great spot to be in as 7. And, like, RandomGoon doesn't even get the privilege of being able to burst because it was a one-touch situation. And that's going to close it out. 7 sweeps to get through up here into the top 8, representing the Nagoriyuki.
A change to, like, how risk is applied or, like, how much risk is drained on hit could be a good change to it, or just try to balance things more around it. But we'll have to see how that goes in the future, if that does even come around. But what we do have right now is Zintai versus Yurikov, which is going to be Millia versus Axel.
Yeah, so I mean, this is what we already need to see on the side of the Millia player, right? Like, you've got the speed and the navigation to try to make it through all of this stuff. Once you do get in, it is your job to be as sticky as humanly possible. Oh my god, another opportunity to run underneath of Axel's tools and try to navigate our way in.
Yeah, like, definitely is another character that could run under the 5P. Definitely has to call out more with the jump S and the 2H for the grounded neutral, as well as, like, we see right there that rinse in is going to be a very good tool in the matchup. But just fighting this opening, the 3 blocks, Zintai holding back forever. And once again, oh, didn't believe in the third overhead this time.
Yeah, I mean, so far though, Yurikov is kind of communicating to me that like that is what we're gonna see. Until we start to see, you know, letting the jumps rock into the lows, that's not what I'm gonna expect. Ooh, was not ready for the command dash follow up, and Yurikov is just running the offense right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, didn't get the heavy disc off of the throw there. Oh my goodness! 1, a 2, a 3, crunch. Is able to keep going for the over. Hey, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And now gets a little bit additional pressure with that red RC. Zintai try to make a comeback here, but alright, yeah, just like that. Okay, Ops, instead of going for the OTG, just goes for the mix-up there. Yeah, the heart, rather the car, rather.
Yeah, I think that was dead on Chipp. There was so little meter left and so little life. I wonder if FG just ran out. That is going to be my assumption. The alternative is maybe he just held regular back at the wrong spot. But I am going to operate under the assumption that that was a Chipp damage kill. And Yurikov taking that first game. And just like, you don't... It feels like it's rare for characters to be able to bulldoze across the screen like this into Axel, but Millia very clearly able to do that. And I don't know if that's a truth of the character matchup or if Zintai just hasn't found the right option, but Yurikov is just navigating the screen very well, or at least did in that first one.
Yeah, like, it's assuming with the assumption, right? I mean, she does have, like, that double jump that goes way above what the normal approach angle, like, her aerial approach is above the angle where the upwards rinse is normally going to be at, as well as Axel does not have the best defensive normals, or just the best options on defense. So once you are in this blender, it can be very difficult to just find your way out. And, oh my goodness, yeah, like right there, trying to jump out, but just getting scooped for his trouble.
Right, spends the burst to keep the turn. The double overhead again. It continues to be several overheads in a row. Really wants Zintai to not be comfortable holding down back. Like nope, you don't get to block well. You get to sit here and watch me zip across the screen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Using that good placement on that 6K just to really control the spacing a little bit that Yurikov's placed, and kind of we've hit on it a little bit before, but just like the amount of damage from like these high mix-up characters like Millia and Ito isn't necessarily the biggest point. It's all about getting that just getting the huge amounts of momentum and the good mix-ups. But Axel's a character that controls that neutral and gets a ton of damage. So anytime Zintai's found these hits, it just does a good job.
I think the flip side of that, ooh, the red RC mixed into the quick overhead, gonna be able to close it out off of that bad burst from Zintai, unfortunately. What I was gonna say is, I think of the characters that you listed, right? Like, if we lump Millia in with, like, Ino and Chipp, one thing is, I feel like Millia does have the capability to output that damage if she wants to. Like, she has the damaging roots to, you know, bring you all the way to the corner and use all of the air options that she has to just pile on the damage. The thing is, it's just like, if she does that, it's immediately like, you congratulations, I hope you enjoy neutral. And that's not this matchup, right? She's gonna cycle back into 2D and then mix you again with some proper Oki as often as she conceivably can, because the last thing that she wants is for Zintai to be able to make a decision.
Yeah, no, she's definitely one of the characters that, like, she has those opportunities to deal that damage, but you generally don't see it too often. Outside of like the exception of like, oh, okay, this is like confirmed that I can't, like right here where it's a situation that you're not going to be getting a lot of good mix-up off of, so you're just going to go for it anyways. But now finding these openings, Zintai not able to really get anything started. RC has Rinsen, but wasn't expecting the corner to be taken.
Yeah, that's tough, and this is looking like it's going to be a clean sweep on the side of Yurikov. Zintai just has not found the right sequence of options to stymie this offense here from Yurikov. The full charge 5D, eat this cutscene combo.
Yeah, that was just a good amount of damage off of that overhead, and now just getting the tick throw. And now, just like that, not going to be able to kill off of this, but does get the heart card, just gets the mix up there, the triple overhead once more. And just like that, you know,
that
if
didn't
it ain't
even
broke,
combo.
No, it doesn't. It's just, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's, you know, like, it's like, you gotta block it at